going on, everybody? Welcome to Natty Gains. Guys, we are going to take you through a calf workout today. Calves are one of the things people do not really like to train, or they always complain about genetics, they just won't grow, you have horrible calves, so you just don't train them. You need to be training calves. And I'm telling you this from experience. I used to not train calves the way I should have, but I wanted to make calves one of my strong points, so I started training them about 3 to 4 times a week, and my calves grew quite a bit over the course of just a couple years, as you guys can see right here. So one thing that I want you guys to be able to focus on is the mind-muscle connection that you're making when you're training calves. So I'm going to take you through 3 calf exercises I like to do on a regular basis to help you slowly grow your calves. So let's go ahead and start training. Alright, so the first exercise we're going to be starting on is the standing calf raise. Now I do this in a Smith machine on an elevated platform, and the reason I'm going to do this on an elevated platform is so that you can really get a full stretch and full squeeze. So when you're in here, you're just going to have your toes on top of this, on the top of the platform, and you want your heels to almost go down to where they're touching the ground. That's really going to fully stretch out your calves. And then on the way back up, you're going to extend and squeeze, and then most people don't even realize this, but you have an extra little extension in there. So go up again. So it's going to look like this. Down, all the way, up, up. When you're getting to this top portion, what you want to do is you want to squeeze and contract your calves as hard as you can. One thing you don't want to do is you see people training calves and they're not growing, or they're complaining that they're not growing, and they do this. They train like this. There's no mind-muscle connection in that. There's no focusing on what you're doing. You want to be focusing on the muscled hand that you're training. So if you're trying to grow your calves, feel that stretch. Feel the contraction at the top, and force as much blood in there as possible. So how do I train calves? Well, normally right now, like I said earlier, it's about 3 to 4 times a week, and I like to start off my leg day with calf training. Why? Because it's a weak area of mine, and I'm trying to make it a strong area. So I like to do a tricep. We'll start with the standing Smith machine, standing extensions off the platform. Then we're going to move over to the leg press, and we're going to do about another 3 sets, and then we're going to go straight into the seated calf raises. Now, a lot of people ask, what's the best rep range that you should be doing when training calves? All of them. Guys, one thing I really like to do is on my standing, we'll start going kind of heavier, and I'll do like that 6 to 8 rep range. Then I'll move into the next one, and I'll do more of that 12 to 15, and then I'll finish it off with a nice seated 20 plus. Is that what I do every time? No, I'm constantly changing it up, but the different rep ranges is what's really going to change and shock your muscle, and like, what are you doing? What's going on here? And then your calves are just going to respond to that and grow. You don't want to do the same thing all the time. Keep your muscles guessing. So I like to have my feet about shoulder width apart on the leg press, and then about the upper half of your foot is just on the platform. Now all I'm going to do is I don't want my legs fully locked out. Never fully lock out your legs on a leg press, no matter what exercise you're doing. Have a nice slight bend in there. I'm going to let my feet come back, getting a nice full stretch in my calves. And then I'm going to extend my feet, my toes up, and squeeze. It's the same thing as earlier. Stretch, squeeze, and contract the muscle. We ain't bouncing around. This does not give you growth in your calves. A slow stretch with a nice contraction is what's really going to help break down your muscles to grow. So here we're going to do 3 sets, 12 to 15 reps. So immediately after you do the standing Smith machine calf raises. Alright guys, moving on to the final and last exercise for the calves. It's going to be the seated calf raises. Now this is the one that I like to really go high on the volume, especially for this calf workout. And we're going to be doing 20 reps plus. Now one thing I want you guys to focus on, and it's the same thing, same concept when you're training arms, you're training anything, that building muscle is about changing up angles. So if you're doing the same angle for the standing and then the seated leg press, one thing that you want to be doing is changing up the angles in which you have your feet. So yeah, we're doing 20 reps. So one thing that I'm gonna probably start with is my feet wide out on the platform. And I'm gonna probably do about 10 reps like this. Same thing, you're gonna all the way down with your heel stretching and pulling on the calf. Back up, squeezing and contracting. I'm gonna do this for about 10 reps. And then I'm going to switch my feet placement for the last 10 and go inward a little bit with my heels pointed in. This is just gonna change up the angle just enough. Heels down, and then back up. We're gonna work a little bit more inner calf. Now I like to do about a 2 to 4 second negative on the way down. So as you guys are going down with the weight, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause for a second and get that nice stretch. And then on the way up, I'm squeezing and contracting as hard as I can for another second. Your calves are gonna be on fire after 20 reps of this. And for all you haters out there are gonna put in the comment section about us only doing a 25 pound on the seated calf raise, you tell me after you do the standing Smith machine, the leg press, and then come over to this for 20 reps with solid form that your calves aren't burning. Like I said, it ain't about the weight you move, but how you move the weight you're moving. Proper form, no egos. Come at me, bro. Well guys, I really hope that helped you. You guys can do this calf workout. You know, do it a few times a week. Change up your reps, change up the weight that you're doing. Don't use the excuse of just genetics. I mean, yes, genetics play a little bit of a role into, you know, having smaller calves and trying to grow your calves, but just be the person, have the mindset of you're gonna train them harder and you're gonna make it happen. Don't give up. You guys can do it. You can grow bigger calves. I've done it. My calves still aren't the biggest. I'm the first one to admit it, but they have progressed. They're gonna continue to progress because I'm gonna keep training them hard. Guys, for more content, stay tuned here at Natty Games and have a blessed day wherever you're at.